Welcome back. Today, I want to cover with you 10 life lessons that I've learned on the way becoming an options trading millionaire over the past 5 years of my career. And I want to explain them all to you today. You're not going to want to miss number 9 and number 10.
Do you even know what number 9 and number 10 are?
No, but that's a good fucking thing, like keep them till the end or something, Number 1 is setting realistic goals and having realistic expectations versus unrealistic ones. And I think the illusion of these unrealistic expectations is definitely fluffed and pumped up by social media and social media content creators that are mostly full of shit. You never show a loss. They make 500% every day. They tell you could be a millionaire in 2 weeks and join their team for their discount, whatever. I think it's bullshit. I think you need to have realistic expectations, and realistic expectations come very small. The most successful traders and investors of all time lived and died by less than 20 to 30% a year, yet you're here thinking that you're going to get 30% a trade and you're going to win every trade for the rest of your life. Well, it's not that fucking easy. You have to have realistic expectations. You have to understand that baseball games are won by base hits and not by everybody trying to swing for home runs. There's only one guy on the roster that usually goes for the home runs, while the other 8 just try to get on base. Remember that. So having realistic expectations and setting realistic goals for yourself that are attainable, that you can hit on the short, intermediate, and long-term time frames of your options trading investing career will dramatically improve your successes, because it feels good to be right and realistic than to be wrong and unrealistic. Trust me. And I used to have that same exact mindset. And as soon as I made the switch and it just clicked, you know what? I don't need to make $5,000 to $10,000 every fucking day, because I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm trying to create a better future for myself. And once I learned that and I started setting those realistic goals of $300 per day on a $200,000 account, I noticed that my equity curve started looking a lot more appealing over time. You know what I always say is I refer to the real estate. Like if you feel like you're getting unrealistic, I always refer back to real estate. Real estate investors want to get 1% a month on their mortgage. So if they have a $100,000 mortgage, if they can rent that property for $1,000 a month, they can create generational wealth by adding and providing more properties just like that. 1% a month. That's fucking terrible to me, because my goal is 2% a month, right? And so that's a realistic expectation that I hold myself to. If these real estate guys can do 1%, Big Daddy Max can crush 2% a month in the stock market. So that's my personal goal. And that's how I maintain my level of realism and real expectations, and not trying to hit these home runs. So if you think, is this a realistic expectation? Go find in other sectors, are people doing that? In real estate, can you make 1,000% ROI in a week? No, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. And that means it's probably an unrealistic expectation in your field as well, in stock market, real estate, businesses, as a worker, whatever it may be. So number 2 is wealth creation, turning that into wealth preservation. So you finally figured it out. Strategies are working. You're getting your small base hits, and you turned your 10,000 into 25,000 in year 1. Year 2, you turn your 25,000 into 60. Year 3, you turn your 60 into 100. Year 4, you turn your 100 into 225. Year 5, you have $500,000 cash in your brokerage. Oh my God, life is good. But now you've never managed $500,000 before. Your mindset probably isn't shifted the focus to, oh my God, I have a $500,000 account now. Am I still treating this like a $25,000 account? So you have to have the mindset shift from wealth creation now to wealth preservation. I want to keep the $500,000 and use that as my basis, my chunk of cash that's going to bring in an ROI that's sustainable for me to create a time and financial freedom life. So what I mean is taking that 500 grand, maybe you don't want to buy options. Maybe you don't want to be a large share trader anymore. Maybe you just start selling covered calls on very safe and secure stocks like the SPY or on index fund, and you start taking a small return on your investment. And now you can use the FIRE method, right? Financial independence, retire early, or you can use any kind of other wealth preservations. Maybe you send it off to a finance manager and he gives you your 3 to 7% a year for the rest of your life. Maybe you invested in a dividend stock and you live off the dividends for the rest of your life. So making the switch for me, once I hit the 7-figure mark, well, okay, let me turn my wealth creation into wealth preservation. Let me pull all of this money out of the public eye, put it somewhere private, long-term and secure where I don't have to look at it, but every 6 months. That was a game changer for me because now I can fund all my public accounts for you right here and there with my big account, my wealth preserve account. That's my retirement. That's my kids' retirement. That's my next house. It's everything I need in life and more because I created enough wealth creation there to now preserve it and grow consistently without ever having to worry about anything ever again. So that mindset, that switch is huge to your success. Number 3 is asking for help and also having a strong mentor or coach, right? Having someone that can guide you and lead you through the water that they've already been through is so fucking important. I cannot explain this to you enough. Number 3, having a mentor or coach who's failed and done the things you want to do. If you want to be a real estate millionaire, go find a real estate millionaire that you want to be and fucking plead and beg to him to mentor you. If you want to be a stock option selling millionaire, go find a fucking stock option selling millionaire and say, can you coach me or help me get to that next level? They will most likely be more than willing to give you a helping hand, at least lead you to the direction that you can start growing in that way. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Most businesses fail. Most single occupied businesses fail because people refuse to ask for help. I don't want to outsource. I don't want to grow. I'm good where I'm at, so I don't need help. But that's a failing mindset. You need to ask for help. You need to find a coach. You need to find a mentor. When I started trading options and I wasn't too sure about it, I looked out and I sought out people that were already doing it full time. And once I joined a community of investors and I found one guy who was like, I can sharpen your tool set up real good, Max. You got what it takes, but I can make it better. That guy brought me to the next level. And I'll be forever thankful for him and his education that he brought onto me and the pursuit of education that I took from him that he gave me, and I was able to propel my career exponentially. And being able to ask for that help, that's the fucking key. That's what got me there. Yo, I'll tell you right now, patience. Number 4. So in the military, when we're in the Army, there's a saying in the Army, it's called hurry up and wait. Right. So what happens is the battalion commander says, we have a battalion meeting. I want everyone there at 6 a.m. and we're going to go for a battalion run. He passes it down to the company level. The company commander says, okay, battalion run is at 6. I want everyone there at 5:30. Then the company passes it down to the platoons. Your platoon sergeant hears that and says, okay, everyone's got to be here at 5:30. I want everyone here at 4:45. Then your platoon sergeant passes it down to your squad leader, and your squad leader says, okay, 4:45 is not good enough. Let's go to 4:30. So now we have a 6 a.m. run that we're told to be there at 4:30 in the morning, just so we're early for everyone's early. And then that's where the phrase hurry up and just wait comes from. That's where I learned my patience, because I can't tell you how many times in my military career where you just do nothing. You literally just do nothing. And in that nothingness, you learn to have a mindset of patience. Patience transfers over into other aspects of your life. Having patience with problems that arise, having patience with money, having patience with stock options and stock setups, having patience with real estate, anything. It can transfer over to other aspects of your life. So I learned patience. I had it drilled into me, whether I liked it or not. And I think that you're not going to get the same quite military experience, but you can start practicing patience. And one of the best exercises I like to use for patience is to open up my stock charts, go to a 15 or 30-minute chart, and simply waiting the first hour of a day of a stock day and doing nothing. Or I like to use an option strategy called a cash secured put, where I can sell a cash secured put on Friday, and by Tuesday, it might be up 90% gains, and there's nothing left on the contract, but I still wait till Friday and I let it expire worthless, because that's a great exercise for me to maintain and practice my patience. Let it go, let it be, set it, forget it, be patient. Patience pays. Keep going, keep trying until the light switch goes on. Wait until it just clicks in your brain. I've made the snowboarding reference many times, right? You go snowboarding and day 1, it sucks. Day 2, it sucks. Day 3, you're snowboarding. You just have to wait until the light switch clicks. And then once it does, you'll be able to have something that you didn't have before. And that's a mindset shift, right? You have the light switch that went off. You know what? Like I always say, if options buying isn't working for you, come try selling options. If options scalping isn't working for you, try a swing trade or two. If losing real money isn't working for you, try paper trading for 5 or 6 fucking months. There's a whole bunch of great traders that have paper traded and still do it to this day when they're testing new theories, options trades, and they want new strategies before they release it. That even myself, I go to the paper trading chart. Why would I want to risk my own money? And that was one of those things to me a few years ago where the light switch went off. Why am I trying to create a new strategy by losing thousands of dollars? Why wouldn't I try and create a new strategy by paper trading first, fine-tuning it for months and months and months, back testing for months and months, then going live? And when I realized that saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars. When the light switch went off for me, that earnings report options trades were just gambling, that saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars. When the light switch went off for me, that I don't have to be a total degenerate anymore and I could just sell options comfortably and literally never work again, that's a light switch that went off for me. So you just have to wait for that aha moment in your brain based on what you really want. If you really want this, then you just have to fucking keep going until that aha moment happens, and it will shift your mindset and propel you towards success. Number 6 is continuous education. And it's very different than having a coach or a mentor, right? And asking for help. Asking for help and a coach is one thing, but having a continuous education mindset, that's on you to continue growing and to continue learning, right? So for me, I wrote a book and I did a 2.5-year study on credit spreads in the option strategy world. And I did a swing trading credit spread strategy that after 2.5 years, I felt great enough to publish it. But then when the ETFs that I love trading this on came out with 0-day expiration, I decided that, oh shit, I need to go back in and I need to learn again how to do this, but on a 0 DTE 1-day trade scale. And I went back in and I learned for months and I retaught myself everything I already knew, but on a 0-day scale. And so that continuous education part of myself allowed me to develop a new, very profitable strategy. And so you always have to be continuously learning and educating when you're dealing with any aspect of your life. Me and my wife want to buy a new car. What do? You research and you educate all the cars that are out there for the new year and the new market. Me and my wife want to buy a new house. What should you do? You should research and educate yourself on the real estate market around the area you're looking to buy. And it doesn't have to necessarily be trading related or work related, anything in your life. You need to consider doing due diligence and research and educating yourself on those topics. Become the minor subject expert that you should be before you make a life-changing fucking decision. So continuous education, that is another thing like patience that's transferable to all aspects of your life. Never stop educating yourself. If you want to be a multi-millionaire that creates generational wealth, this isn't my opinion. This is a fact. You can't do it with just one stream of income. You can't. You have to have multiple streams of income. That's not my opinion. That's a fucking fact. If you want to create generational wealth, if you want your last name to be successful, if you want to be that risk taker in your family, you need to have multiple streams of income. You can't just rely on one. If you have the 9-to-5 that's paying well, you need to invest in stocks. You need to get in the real estate market. You need to get in the fucking long-term IRA, 401k. You need to do something else that's going to create the wealth for you and with you. So having one stream of income is not the best idea. You need to figure out how to multiply your streams of income. It doesn't matter if you start with $100 stocks and dividend a month, you're getting $100 a month somewhere else. It doesn't matter if you take the risk, get your first real estate property and it's cash flowing $150, $200 a month. That is amazing. But this snowball effect, the compound effect over 30, 40 years in these additional revenue streams will create wealth for you. So even me as a full options trader, options trading is by far not my only stream of income. I also own 3 companies. I also have a job. I also trade full time. I have so many other things. I have real estate. I have a full fucking package where I can get multiple checks every single month. And you need to do the same if you want to create wealth. This is, to be honest, number 8 is probably more important than 1 through 10 in itself. Health is wealth. And I learned this from my mentor who gave me the line one day where I wasn't feeling well. And I told him I've been dealing with some anxiety and some other shit, mental health issues. And he said, listen, if you don't fucking take care of yourself, it doesn't matter how much fucking money you make because you'll be dead. And what are you going to do if you're dead? You're going to do fucking nothing. So all this wealth, all this drive, all this finance, everything you've been focused on means nothing if you're just dreaming forever. So the thing you need to focus on most, and this is the most important shit, is your health. Your health comes first, right? It kind of reminds me of like student athlete, right? You remember the phrase, you're a student first, and then you're an athlete until you go pro. Well, guess what? Health is wealth. Health goes first in that statement before wealth, because without health, wealth means nothing. It's very similar to me. So you have to take care of yourself, whether it just be a few 30-minute pieces of exercise a week, whether it be go talking to a therapist for your mental health. I mean, hey, Big Daddy Max ain't ashamed to say it. I'm the fucking first guy to tell you I thought therapy was bullshit. I don't want to go talk to some fucking schmuck. He knows nothing about me and he's not going to help me. But after going once a week for the last 6 months, I feel better than ever in my mental state, and it's helped me tremendously in my own life. So I'll tell you right now, taking care of my mental health, I go to the gym 4 days a week. I'm still a fat fuck, which is fine, but I'm a healthy fat fuck. And that's what's important. So you can have different ways of achieving health in your life. You just have to go out and do that, because wealth means nothing without health. Always find a way to provide value. What does that mean? That means watching this fucking video, what is Big Daddy Max trying to do? I'm trying to provide value. I'm trying to tell you I've been here. I've been where you are. Don't compare your step 1 to my step 20. Just let the fucking value that I'm trying to provide to you provide, right? Go read the books that provide value to your life. There's a reason that millionaires are still putting out content, right? I always see these people on Twitter and they're like, if you're so rich, why are you on Twitter? Why are you doing this? Real rich people ain't doing this. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Of course, successful people are still trying to provide value for others, right? I want my whole family and every one of my friends to be mega fucking successful and rich. And if I hit step 10 and they're on step 6, I'm going to lend a helping hand any way I possibly can. And that comes by providing value. And providing value sometimes is better than providing a loan, is sometimes than providing a piece of advice, right? Provide actual value. And that's what I'm thinking this video is going to do for you. And that's what I think all the rest of my videos that I put on YouTube for free is going to do. I've been there, I've done it, and now I'm providing value so I can lend my helping hand out and say, I want you to get there too. Giving back and providing value is something that I consider one of my factors that makes me rich, right? Like, what did Bob Marley say? The famous Bob Marley interview. The guy said, are you rich? And he said, what do you mean by that? And he was like, how much money do you have? And he's like, is that your definition of rich? Is money? Because I'm rich, but I don't have a lot of money. And that's what I think providing value is, right? Providing value to me gives me more success than money ever will. Providing value comes in so many forms that are greater than currency, and you should always try and give back to your community. Number 10, just start. You just watched this video, now start. Go back, rewatch the video, then start. You ever hear the people that are like, oh, I'm going to start my diet on Monday? You're an idiot. Start on Saturday. Start on Saturday night. Do it. Just do it. Start. You have to begin. Warren Buffett always says it's about time in the market, not timing the market. Because if you're one of those people that are just sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect time to strike, someone else is already capitalizing, someone else is already learning, someone else is already going to get the light switch, someone else is already going to hit that realistic expectation, someone else already found that mentor that you needed, someone else already understood that their health is more important than wealth, someone else is already doing it, and they just went from step 1 to step 2, and you're sitting on the sidelines, sitting at step 1, and all you're going to do is become resentful and hate on people and log into Twitter and call me a fat fuck. I don't care. But just start. Do it. Just go. Make the jump. And I'm not telling you to go fucking take your life savings and go invest it into it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is starting is as simple as picking up a book. Starting is as simple as getting on Google and looking up and doing the research, that education piece. Starting is as simple as saying, I'm going to work my 9 to 5 for another 2 years and I'm going to save up 10 grand. That is starting. So there's multiple ways that you can start. Maybe you go to the gym today. Go for a 30-minute walk. That is starting, right? There's so many things you could do that are starting your life towards that general level of potential that you've probably been wanting. For me, when I got out of the military, right, I had nothing. I was in $20,000 in debt. I lived in my brother's living room. I had nothing. So for me, the start was, okay, first off, I need to quit smoking cigarettes because this is stupid. Bam, cold turkey quit smoking cigarettes. What went with it? The drinking. Bam, I had to quit drinking because you can't do smoke cigarettes and not drink, it just doesn't go very well. So I was like, let me give these up. Then I started saving a little bit of money. I noticed that $6, $7 a day I was spending started growing. Then I said, okay, I need to get out of debt. That was my next big piece. Well, guess what? It took me months and months of grinding at work to finally clear my name and get out of debt. But I'm still living in my fucking brother's living room. So for me, that was my next big goal. It took me 18 months just to start. For me, quit smoking, quit drinking, go to the gym, work as hard as you possibly can, pick up the book and start reading. I did all of these things before I even invested $1. That was my just start. Start taking care of yourself, start getting out of debt, start aiming for health, start somewhere. So for me, once I did all that, I mean, people were hating on me. My fucking best friend at the time was like, you're a fucking loser. You don't go out and drink and party and do all these things. But you know what? I knew what I wanted and I had to start aiming for those goals and stop aiming for others people's pleasure. I'm not here to please. I'm here for me. I learned all of these. Yeah, I did learn all these pieces on my way to be, a very successful millionaire trader. But my goals and what I learned along the way, and now these 10 items may not be the same 10 that you learned along the way. So there may be 4 or 5 of them that you're like, yep, those are definitely on the way, but maybe not all 10. Maybe there is all 10, but they're not in the same order, right? So we're not going to have the same journey. But I promise you that if you track your journey, you'll find very similar ideas and concepts just as the ones I provided for you. And you should provide that value back to your community and your friends and your loved ones, because providing value to others, being that coach where we can lend it out and help others, that's the goal overall. I woke up this morning with the largest fucking pimple on my forehead in the world. It's my fault for eating a quesadilla full of cheese last night, but I'm going to go to the gym, give it a vicious pop later, and we're going to have a funeral for this thing in fucking the evening time, because I am not going to sit here all day with fucking this horn growing out of my goddamn forehead.